left Cleveland for Miami, and Durant when he left the Thunder for the Warriors. Now, JJ Redick said he believes the root of most of the criticism stems from racism. Redick said, quote, "I think an underlying reason for the reaction to Kevin and LeBron making those decisions is because people were uncomfortable with powerful black men making a decision for themselves. I really believe that." Shannon, do you agree?
I agree with it a lot, Skip. And there's no way to definitively to say otherwise unless we get Luka Doncic. And I think he would be the closest equivalent of a white player all of a sudden going somewhere else. Because we've never seen, Skip, we've never had a white player on the caliber of a LeBron or a KD. It would basically need to be Larry Bird would need to come back, be Larry Bird.
I mean, that's the problem. There's never been a Larry Bird since Larry Bird.
And that's the thing, Skip. Okay. We would need to, or a Dirk Nowitzki that would have left, that would leave. Skip, we need a superstar. We need a superstar white guy to go and face criticism. Tom Brady didn't get no criticism. What? His contract was up. LeBron James' contract was up. Kevin Durant's contract was up. They did not force a trade. They don't say, get me out of here or I'm not coming, or I'm going to make things uncomfortable.
Yes, but everybody knows Belichick tried to dump him in 2017, so he was being pushed out the back door.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And that happens a lot. Since sports have been in existence, they've been able to trade players, and fans never get upset with an organization for trading a player like they do when a player requests a trade or leaves after free agency. Skip, and I agree with JJ. Skip, this is different. Since America came to be, blacks really haven't had rights and been able to choose their own path. So this is not new. Jack Johnson was one of the first ones, Skip, that the establishment couldn't control, and they had a problem with. You look at Dr. King. You're not supposed to be able to have that kind of power. Malcolm X, you're not supposed to be able to have that kind of power. We got a problem with it. So we're upset. I do believe JJ hit the nail right on the head. I do believe there was something to that. And you look at Daniel Gilbert's statement. Just imagine, Skip, how many people you think change jobs within the course of a year? And just imagine if you change jobs, your boss takes out a full-page ad in the newspaper and say, that's such and such computer programmer, think he all that. We got 15 computer programmers better than him right now. And he will never be the same computer programmer that he was here, that he was somewhere else.
Said he quit against Boston, and he said, check the tape.
Yeah, and how many times he showed up late for work? How many times there was a project that we needed that he failed to deliver on?
Okay.
That didn't happen. But something's going on here that when black men have the opportunity to choose their own path, their own destination, it upsets a lot of people, and I don't know why, because these guys had fulfilled their obligation tenfold. No matter what you think about them individually, they had fulfilled their obligation. Daniel Gilbert's wealth. What was that organization worth before LeBron got there, and what was it worth while he was playing? So Kevin Durant with OKC. So for me, Skip, I never got the reaction. I don't understand. Fans got to understand. I get it. You go cheer, but you don't own the player. The player has the right that he can choose if he wants to leave, or he can stay if he chooses that also. Don't get upset because someone leaves.
Okay. You could be right. JJ could be right. The truth is, I don't even know how to quantify that.
Right.
It's just your gut feeling.
Right.
That's what you sort of suspect.
Right.
Was operating beneath the surface, just barely beneath the surface. I got you. I can only speak for me. Not for 1 second when LeBron decided to go to Miami, and he did so on live national TV in what's called The Decision.
Right.
Not for 1 second did I, as a white man, think, how dare that black man try to control the narrative and control sports? How dare, you can call me a liar if you want, and you'll be wrong, because not 1 second did I think
rational,
that.
though.
Okay, but when Kevin Durant left Russell Westbrook to join forces with the Golden State Warriors, who had just beat his butt after he had them down 3-1, not for 1 second did I think, how dare this black man try to wield that kind of power? I knew too much. he was sick and tired of playing basketball with Russ because Russ was the primary decision maker, and Russ dribbled it up the court every time and said, I think I want to shoot it this time. And Kevin decided, I can't win a championship with him. And Kevin decided, I'm going to go join that team because I'm about to enter my 10th year in this league and I am ringless.
Right.
And not only did he join them, he elevated them because they had just lost to LeBron after holding a 3-1 lead.
Correct.
And you told me Draymond went into the parking lot and called KD in tears.
Yep, with a towel on.
Come save us.
Yep.
With a towel on in the parking lot. And Kevin saved them because he was the MVP of back-to-back finals. So, yeah, he joined forces, but then he rose above the forces and led them back to the promised land twice in a row. And when all is said and done, Kevin Durant will look back in 20 years, and everybody who knows Kevin Durant will forget about the circumstance of how he won those rings. They'll just say, Kevin's got 2 rings. Maybe he'll win a couple more in New Jersey. I don't know. But, I mean, I'm sorry, in Brooklyn. But the point is that not 1 second did I think about that. And why didn't I think about that? Let me give you 3 quick examples that I think you'll be able to appreciate. I'm older, so I grew up in a different era. But I grew up in an era in which black men in sports wielded their power. I grew up a St. Louis Cardinals baseball fan. And when I first fell in love with the Cardinals, because I was in Oklahoma City and we could get them on KMOX, 50,000 watts out of St. Louis, which just reverberated through the Midwestern part of the country. So every night I would listen to the Cardinal games on radio. My favorite player by far in the early years was a center fielder named Curt Flood. Do you remember Curt Flood?
I do.
7 times a Gold Glover. My Cardinals won the championship, beat the Yankees in '64, beat the Red Sox in '67, lost to Mickey Lolich and the Tigers in '68, but it was Curt Flood was a star on that team. And in 1969, the Cardinals traded him to the Phillies, and he said, I'm not going. He said, if you're going to send me there, I'm going to sue you. And he sued the commissioner of baseball, Bowie Kuhn, because he had no power to stop this trade, and he thought that was un-American. This black man from Houston, Texas, named Curt Flood, who didn't even go to college, but was smart and powerful, said, I defy this system. I'm going to beat you at your own game. And he destroyed what was called the reserve clause and opened the floodgates for free agency. This is Curt Flood in 1969. And one of his big reasons for not going to Philadelphia, he said, it's a lousy ballpark and a lousy team, number one, but those fans are racist, he said. I don't want to go play for those fans because I've been there too many times when they have yelled the N-word at me. So I don't want to go there. He changed the face of sports. That's the first time we had free agency in any sport.
What did it cost him?
It cost him his job. He sacrificed, I mean, his livelihood. Yes, he had to sacrifice his career. But he goes down in my history book, man, as a trailblazer, as a crusader.
But, you know, also working in your favor, Skip, you say when you got into the business in the newspaper industry, you was out here in L.A., but you also went to Chicago.
I did.
You also went to Dallas.
I went to Miami.
You went to San Francisco. So you understand about being able.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar won a championship with Oscar Robertson at the end of his career in Milwaukee in 1972. And then Kareem said, you know what? I don't belong here. My value system is really, it's not Midwestern. I'm from Power Memorial High School in New York City.
He wanted to go to the Knicks.
He did want to go to the Knicks, but also to the Lakers because he matriculated at college at UCLA.
UCLA, correct.
You say most dominant college basketball player ever.
Hands down.
Wanted to go back to L.A. And he somehow forced a trade from Milwaukee to Los Angeles. I was in awe of it because I still, to this day, do not understand it. And the players that Milwaukee got back, starting with Junior Bridgman and who are some of these, Dave Myers, they're just guys. None of them made an all-star team. It's the most lopsided trade in sports history to me, given the fact that Kareem became the leading scorer in the history of the league and won 5 more championships with the Lakers.
Was it more lopsided than the Herschel Walker trade?
Yes. Well, it was because
you got Emmett.
Okay, I know, but it's Kareem. I got him ranked 4th on my all-time list. The leading scorer.
He won 6 MVPs.
What I'm saying is, you look at, he made 13 more all-star teams, so he was a dominating player. He was beyond anything that involved the Cowboys to me.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so the point is, he did that. That's a black man wielding power, and that leads me to one of the greatest players who ever played your sport, and his name was Jim Brown in Cleveland. And he went, in 9 years, he led the league in rushing 8 times.
Right.
He was almost untackleable in those days.
He was.
And he got sideways, crossways with the Browns in his negotiation.
Art Modell.
Bingo. And you know what he said? I'll walk on you. I'll just leave. I'll quit.
Well, let's give this. How it happened was he was doing a movie.
Okay.
And Art said, you need to be back here or else. So Jim, Mr. Brown chose else.
Mr. Brown.
But that was Art trying to control him, said, you get back here or else. Well, normally when you give a person the opportunity to say, you do this or else, a lot of people are going to choose else. And that's what he chose. And he never played another down.
He never played. He was 29 years of age. And he went on. Again, you might not call these great movies, but he became a convincing leading man in Hollywood. Dirty Dozen, he didn't play lead in that. But then 100 Rifles with Raquel Welch. In Dark of the Sun, I don't know if you remember that, or Tick, Tick, Tick. He became a very powerful actor to me who would captivate. He would just take over the screen. That's off at age 29, walking away from the National Football. That was a power move. That was an all-time boss move to me as a kid as I'm growing up. So my point to you is, when LeBron said, I'm going to go on national TV to announce my decision, it wasn't trailblazing. It wasn't like no one's ever seized the narrative like that. Yeah, they have. It's happened several times before.
I think the thing was, Skip, it would have been interesting to see if we'd had social media, if we'd had the entities to see how they handled Jim walking away, Kurt Flood walking away. But the fans, when the Cardinals traded him, Mr. Bush traded him, and they tried to trade him, the fans didn't get upset. They didn't burn nothing.
I don't remember, because I was too young to sort of figure that out.
Yeah.